Welcome everybody, Josh here, back at it today with a brand new YouTube video. Today we're going to be talking to you guys about something that's really important to me as well as a lot of other people, especially those who actually collect physical media like you see behind me on my shelves. As you guys know, I'm a huge proponent of actually collecting physical media such as Blu-rays, whether that's standard Blu-rays or 4Ks, as well as favorite movies on DVD as well. I know that collecting DVD is not as cool as it once was, but I do know that we'll still collect DVDs, and especially if you don't have a Blu-ray or a 4K player, you're kind of out of luck in some areas of the world. But in any case, I think that having your favorite movies instead of relying on streaming services is still relatively important. And something that I noticed yesterday going to the store to try and return my 4K copies of both Kong Skull Island as well as the recent Tomb Raider movie, which was damaged upon shipping. And I noticed that it was relatively difficult in order to do so just because of the fact that they don't actually carry Blu-rays in the stores anymore. When I actually drove over there, they told me right away that they don't carry Blu-rays, so I was able to get a return on that, which I wasn't because I already opened the package, which was kind of stupid because it's like, how am I supposed to know if my Blu-rays that I received are damaged if I can't actually open up the disc and see anything scratched inside or whatnot. But in any case, I still feel like collecting 4K Blu-rays, whether you have to physically go to a retail store or buy them online, which, you know, some Targets still receive physical media on Blu-ray, whether that's standard Blu-ray or 4K. So if you don't have something, I don't recommend going out there and trying that first and buying that stuff. But it's just easy because you have this stuff on a shelf and you don't have to rely on the streaming service in order to kind of do so. One of the things I don't like about streaming services in terms of the modern era is the fact that, you know, they sometimes hold the media they kind of like to rewatch off of their websites, and they kind of move it to other streaming services. So if you want to watch something like a classic movie, kind of similar to what I have here on the shelf, you kind of have to pull it off the shelf itself and put it into the disc and everything. With streaming services, they take it off there and you kind of have to figure out which streaming service is actually housing that content and if they actually have the original file on hand. Sometimes these streaming services even like to kind of remove content and even edit some content as well, which is something I don't really like them doing that much. It's kind of the similar thing that George Lucas experienced when he made the special editions of Star Wars films, where he kind of edit stuff in the films and then released them later on DVD as well as Blu-ray as sort of the definitive canon, even though purists like myself kind of like the original format that they were on VHS, which I actually got to watch in the 90s. I'm still a huge fan of the Star Wars franchise, even if I don't really like the later movies in the franchise. That's another story for a different time, but I still think that collecting media, even in 2023, is still important. That's one of the reasons why I want to talk to you guys about this on my channel, because even in the past, 5 to 10 years, I've noticed that they've kind of shrunk down the physical media section in retail stores, whether that's video games, movies, been replaced by other things such as vinyl records, and even Target kind of took away a vast majority of their physical media shelving units and actually replaced it with books and movies and stuff like that. So whenever I go into a Target now, which is usually just to buy groceries nowadays, I'm relatively disappointed in that they don't really carry 4K Blu-rays anymore, or even standard definition Blu-rays, just because of the fact that it's one of the main reasons why I actually end up going there, is because I like the idea of going in there and looking for something I don't really have yet, and if I don't have it, picking it off the shelf, buying it, or trying to upgrade one of the classic movies that I do have on my shelf from standard definition Blu-ray to 4K, just I have a PS5 now and I kind of want to upgrade my movie collection. And it just makes things a little bit easier when you can actually walk into a retail store and pick up a video game and kind of hold it and kind of read the back of the packaging and understand what the game is all about, or even the movie for that matter. And you can't really do that anymore, and I think that's one of the things that is being lost with this all digital era, is the fact that you can't actually go to a retail store, or even Best Buy or a Target, and even look at a vast assortment of classic movies like you could even 5-10 years ago. And I really started collecting Blu-rays back when I was in college, and I'm kind of happy the fact that I did, just because of the fact that they are making it incredibly hard for somebody like myself who loves to collect 4K Blu-rays and standard Blu-rays to do so. You kind of have to buy it online. There's no guarantee that your stuff will arrive, basically intact, kind of like they were when you could go into a retail store and check for yourself and then just return it if you had issues with it. Nowadays, it's a little bit more cumbersome and time-consuming, and I think a lot of the reasons why they're doing it is because everything's basically going to streaming services and all digital, which I don't like. Like I stated before, they can edit things out, put things in that weren't really there. They can basically hold the file whenever they want to, if they don't want to show it. And basically the factor of me being a film reviewer and a film critic and someone who likes movies and got basically a film degree in college studying movies and stuff like that and learning how to create and make them, is something that I think that, being able to kind of watch these movies whenever you want to without the added subscription fees, or even kind of just trying to search for something to watch that you haven't seen before, there's an added benefit to actually owning this stuff on Blu-ray. And that's one of the reasons why I want to talk to you guys about this on this channel, because I've kind of slowly noticed that this stuff is going away, and I hope that there isn't a time where you can't actually buy physical media on store shelves. I think that buying physical media, like I stated before, is incredibly important for self-preservation in terms of film history, just because the fact that things can be lost if we actually end up going to an all-digital era, which I don't really want to see. And that's one of the things that I really do like about having my physical media section back here. I can basically go back to a back catalog of movies from the 90s onwards, even stuff from the past that you can't really find anymore on the streaming services. I can go back and watch that stuff in black and white or even in color and kind of just watch a movie and enjoy it for what it is and what it was basically intended to be. Whereas if you watch it on streaming service, you don't really know if that's the exact same file as before, if it hasn't been tampered or edited with, if there hasn't been stuff taken out of it, just to appease modern day sensibilities. And for me, being a purist in terms of the art of cinema, I kind of like to have my movies as they were and not messed with. And I know that a lot of movie studios, especially nowadays, kind of like to edit things out and change things over time. So that's one of the things that worries me about modern day film collecting, stuff like that. And it's something that really disturbs me, is the fact that these places that I used to go to, like Target, Best Buy, even Walmart, occasionally to kind of grab these movies and Blu-rays that I've known and loved over the years, no longer will exist in the future, and that future generations can't have that same experience that I did as a kid, especially when it comes to collecting video games. Because even in Targets now, I've started to notice that the video game section, especially the physical media section, has been replaced with digital cards, that they've kind of shrunk down their physical media section, that you have to go online to buy anything that you want nowadays. And I just don't want to see that. I don't want to see it to where I can't actually go to a store and buy a new release or a new title that I want, pull it off the shelf and actually watch it or play it basically within a day of ordering. Because when you order stuff online, it takes about a week to get here. You don't know if your stuff, like I said before, is going to arrive damaged or broken, and then that becomes a hassle of trying to return that stuff. So those are my thoughts and opinions of physical media stores and them shrinking everything down. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this subject any more than I have on this channel. I just thought it was a really cool sort of subject matter to discuss, because as you guys can see here, I really do like collecting physical media, especially Blu-rays, 4K Blu-rays and stuff like that now, just because the fact that I do have PS5, and I like just having that stuff whenever I want it, so that way I can watch it whenever I want. And you don't really get that aspect with these streaming services. Now, streaming services are nice for the convenience factor, I will admit. I really do like the convenience of just booting up a streaming service like Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus if I do have it, which I don't really have Disney Plus at the moment, and then just picking a movie that I want on their website and watching it then and there. That's really cool. But the fact that they're trying to replace actual physical media with these streaming services like Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Hulu is something that really concerns me as a filmmaker and storyteller in my own right. So that's my thoughts and opinions of this subject matter. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about stores kind of shrinking to the physical media section. Are you guys a little bit depressed about it, kind of like I am? Is it something that concerns you for the future of collecting movies and Blu-rays as a whole? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about that subject matter. And as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.